great. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you being here, supporting me in this project I've been working on for my first year here as a graduate student. So I'm going to give you a breakdown of really what I've done. And it involves video game music and live music. So I'm going to talk about that. So as you may or may not know, video game music is characterized by its interactive quality, how it can be different every time, and how it responds to the player. So what I wanted to do in this project is bring the interactivity of game music to a performance setting. So I had the thought last summer actually, and then ever since then I've been working towards making it a reality. And today is really the first real demonstration of what I've been able to do so far. And this is definitely an ongoing project. But thanks for being here for this first demonstration. So what I want to do before I talk too much about anything is just let you see this project. So I made a game, very simple exploration puzzle game, and I wrote music to it that these performers will be playing. So what I want is just for whoever to come up and play the game and experience it. So who would like to come first? Be the first person to play. Come on up.
He was fast.
So the game will be on this screen, as you can watch it, and the music that musicians will be looking at will be on the screen. So it's really simple controls pressing. It's WASD to move around, mouse to look, pretty simple. And then it should tell you what buttons to press. Alright. Let's just go.
Okay.
basically you have to do each puzzle to win.
You have to do them in a certain order?
You can do them in any order.
Any order, okay.
Yeah. So Preston, there's one other area you can discover. Yeah. Alright, so for that last puzzle you can't actually complete it because of something that you did, which is my fault. So,
It's
yeah.
the circles.
Yeah.
Those are the fuel.
Yes.
Oh.
Pretty
Performers keep playing.
No, it doesn't.
But yeah. Cool.
Gotcha.
There's no
Okay, cool.
double.
So how do you know when the music is on?
I know. Dude.
Would anyone else like to try now that you have some sort of idea? Yes.
Tell us how the music works.
Okay.
Yes, please.
You know.
So I'll tell you simply, you may have noticed, but each area that you go to has its own music, which is something very simple, but something I've been able to do. That's kind of demonstrates game music being dynamic in sort of a passive way, as a player having a passive impact on the music. And there are some other examples in the game how the player can have more direct music. Preston actually showed that. I don't know if anyone picked up on that, maybe. If you did and you want to try it out, and sure, yeah. I want more people to play just to see what happens.
Cool. Let's see that's different.
Yeah, internet. Maybe that's what touch objects run into them.
Yeah, they should. They have to turn the instruments for that.
Like whenever it gets up and down, the music goes down.
The phrases.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's reversed.
great.
The phrases invert.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. That's what you should do. Like we have to be that way. We should go that way. It sort of be like life. Life sometimes goes upside down. So you just need to find a way out. So smart, I guess.
Yeah. And the music's fine.
That's me. Playing the video game is stuff like that. Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Carry on.
The more, that's right.
We should.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what if the notes are red? What happened?
Who knows? Oh
You did it. Yeah.
gosh.
Well, the functionality is to give the player direct control over the music, over if the violin and clarinet are playing. So actually, they would go up to that and press E on those things, like a button,
Yeah.
and they had control over cutting out the instrument. Basically.
Yeah, so the notes were that one of the staff would turn red when I pressed E.
Yeah, and that
it
would
toggle back and forth.
Yeah,
so
and that would tell the
you were
players.
Oh,
told
toggle.
ahead of time whenever the notes are red, don't play. Okay.
Exactly. So I don't know. It may have been difficult to pick up on this part of it, but basically, depending on what puzzles are completed, and any combination, because there's 3 of them. If it's 1 and 3, you complete just 2 or just 3. Actually, there's different music for each of those different variations, and I handled that through. Let me see. Yeah, so what I did is I composed music, pre-composed music, for all of these variations, all the puzzle areas, and there was 8 different variations of that big area music. And so I took that and I used them with my app I've been making. So I've been making an app to facilitate this in Maximus P, and this is actually part of it. This is just the visual part of what the musicians are reading. And basically what this can do, my app, the function of it is to be able to put in pre-composed music and then connect it to a game, in this case, this game. And basically, you put in the music and say, if these conditions are met, I want to show this type of music. So it's basically, if you're familiar with audio middleware, it's doing the same thing with audio middleware. You implement music into the game, so whatever happens in the game is going to change something in the music. And that's what I'm doing in essence, but with notated scores that's being read by real people. So I'd like to point out that, so this isn't an isolated project, what you're seeing here. It's more a use of this technology I've been working on being implemented with a game I made. Actually, last semester is when I made this game, but I made a standalone project in Max that worked just with the game itself. But what I'm able to do is, using what I've created, I could take any game and put music to it, or any sort of music. The way it works is it's really simple. You go in and put in your music, you can take it out, specify measure ranges and everything. So this sort of project is replicable, and that's what I wanted to do, so that this sort of performance can be repeated with different music, different video games. The whole goal, really, of this project is to facilitate connection between people with different backgrounds, because game music is such a popular thing that people care about, as you know, and people people love games mainly, I think, because of their music, and that's what facilitates an emotional connection to a game. And I can say that for myself too. But coming from a musical background, I know there's people behind the music, so I just see like this gap that needs to be filled, this bridge that needs to be crossed between the people who are actually making the music and the people who are playing it. And and I'm trying to do that with this project, and forming some connectivity between the experience that's happening.